Hey everyone, today is December 30th, so it's Friday. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about lightsaber combat and lightsaber combat styles or forms. I'm going to tie this in with Star Wars The Old Republic, but basically, the Jedi Order itself has 7 forms. These forms are obviously available to the Sith to use. I mean, nothing saying you can't use them. Your first lightsaber form is called Shi Chao. That's really the most basic of maneuvers. Let me see if I can find the entry in here, because oddly enough, it is separated in the Jedi Path book from all the other lightsaber styles because it's like literally part of your beginner's training. The point of it is to learn, basic lightsaber use and self-discipline. Form 1 combat, the first to evolve from the ancient discipline of sword fighting, also known as the determination form or the way of the Sarlacc form. It teaches the basic moves of attack and parry, focusing on the humanoid body's target zones: left side, right side, head, and legs. Doesn't matter if your body is spherical, segmented, or serpentine. If you can manipulate a saber, you can master Form 1. It's the foundation upon which all the other forms come, so obviously there's going to be a lot of back and forth. It's an all-around form that apparently you have to learn really well before you can move on. Now, Jedi Knights and Sith Warriors in Star Wars The Old Republic have access to this form at level 1. There's no reason to not turn it on. You get an extra 3% added to your damage, and, actually, let me see here. Increasing all damage dealt and reducing all damage received by 3%. Yes, I have my laptop in my lap for this. Okay, so, and that's where the baseline stuff kind of ends. When you hit level 10, you get to choose your advanced class on the Imperial and Republic fleet. And at that point, the Jedi Knight can choose to go Jedi Guardian, which has access to the Suresu and Shion forms of lightsaber combat, 3 and Classic 5. And the Juggernaut also is pretty much the same thing as the Guardian. And then there's the Sentinel and the Sith Marauder, and they have access to Juyo or Ataru, Form 7 and Form 4. So let me cover those real quick. We're going to skip 2 and 6 because they're not in the game. So we're going to talk about the Jedi Guardians and Juggernauts, Form 3 Suresu. So it's called the Resilience form or the Way of the Mynock, and it's the ultimate expression of defense. Its masters are said to be impervious to all forms of attack, and this is true in Star Wars The Old Republic, where it's basically your tanking stance for Guardians and Juggernauts. Form 3, Suresu, is the ideal lightsaber style for intercepting blaster fire and is common among all kinds of Jedi. A lone Jedi can withstand an ambush of 20 blaster-wielding thugs by dropping into moving meditation. It's also defined as an energy conserver, whereas Ataru, in a moment, is defined as an energy spender. Suresu form for the Jedi Guardian, you get 1 focus every time you're attacked by an enemy once every 3 seconds. It also reduces the amount of focus generated by your strike ability, so your vanilla lightsaber attack and sundering strike, or whatever it is as the warrior. Those get reduced by 1. So instead of generating 2 focus, they'll generate 1 focus. But instead of only getting 1 focus, every time you get hit once every 3 seconds, you get an extra focus. Also, this is not complete. It increases the chances to parry or deflect all incoming attacks by 5%, But what I remember is that it also says it increases your damage reduction by 6%. It increases your threat generation by like 50%, increases your armor rating by 60%, and increases the chance of your shield generator being used by another 15%. The baseline for shields is 5. That's what I remember seeing in the game. I might be wrong on that because the website is... I'm reading a wiki, so obviously it's... Okay, so the other form that a Guardian has access to is called Shion form, which is actually called Form 5. Now, Form 5 has two aspects, Shion and Gem So. Shion is the one that's in the game, so that's the one I'm going to talk about. Shion specifically is about deflecting blaster fire and redirecting it back along chosen vectors to take out attackers. And that was the way it originally is. Now, according to this wiki here, it says you increase all damage dealt by 6%. All attacks that cost focus will refund 1 focus when used. And in addition, taking damage generates 1 focus, but that can't happen except for once every 6 seconds. So you get a little bit less focus, you do more damage. Awesome. Now we go over to the Jedi Sentinel and the Marauder. The two stances that the Sentinel and Marauder have that the Guardian and Baseline Knight don't have is Ataru and Juyo. Ataru is called the 4th form. It is known as the Aggression form or the Way of the Hawkbat. Its kinetic moves require its practitioner to stay almost constantly on the offensive. If you saw episode 2 near the tail end, it's the style Yoda is using. You use the Force to amplify your natural abilities of movement to make yourself move as if you were a blur, and you rain heavy lightsaber strikes down upon your opponent. In the game, the statistics are it increases your accuracy by 3%. In addition, your successful melee attacks have a 20% chance to trigger a second strike that does extra energy damage. This effect cannot occur more than once every 1.5 seconds. That's about it, but there are other things that feed off of it. And then, finally, you get Form 7 Juyo. Now, Juyo is not in the baseline chapter here for all the other lightsaber styles because it's a special style. Let's go a little farther in the book here. There we go, Juyo. It is nicknamed the Way of the Vornsker, which is a deadly predator, I think. But it is also viewed as the Ferocity form. What you do is you attack under the guidance of controlled passion. You channel your inner turmoil into a mental forge, which provides the passion to power your raw and furious strikes. A true expert keeps the emotions locked within the forge. Other descriptions of the style say you draw upon the anger of your opponent to fuel your own moves. And it's very force-powered. It's a very powerful form. And Mace Windu in the movies uses a style he helped develop called Vapad, which brings you right up to the dark side when fighting in lightsaber combat, and uses broad, seemingly unconnected strikes to defeat an opponent. But mechanically speaking, in Star Wars The Old Republic, it allows all your melee attacks to increase in damage by 2% for 15 seconds at a time. Stacks up to 5 times, so you can get an extra 10% of damage over time. And this effect cannot occur more than once every 1.5 seconds. Now, mind, the Jedi Guardian and Juggernaut get Soresu for free at level 14 and have to invest points in the middle branch of their skill tree. If you spend every point you get, you can get it by level 20 for Shion. Likewise, the same thing happens with the Sentinel and the Marauder. You get Juyo for free at level 14, but you have to spend points to get a Taru. There's something I noticed when different styles are obviously different movements. Ataru, you move around faster, more nimbly. Juyo, stronger, yada yada. Those sorts of things. Soresu, minimalist, that sort of thing. So if you watch your lightsaber skills, I'm not certain about this, but I think the animations are different as you shift lightsaber styles. So there's that. And I think I've gone on long enough about lightsaber styles, and I'm going to close out these windows on my computer. But yeah, if you use Shi-Cho for, the first 13, 14 levels of the game, and you swing your lightsaber for your slash move, whichever one takes a focus or rage, the second ability you have at the beginning of the game, use that one. Then switch a lightsaber style, use it again, see what's different. Because I genuinely think my Sentinel moves his lightsabers around differently in Ataru than he does in Shi-Cho. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's wishful thinking. But anyways, until next time.